Hey, mark this down in your book if you're taking notes for the next session, whomever the president is, next time. And sure, Trump will never be president forever, so you can safely assume there will be another president of the United States eventually. Just take note. They can never have another Oval Office meeting again. They can never bring someone in from their staff. They can never meet with the military. They can never talk to anybody in the Oval Office about how the government operates when they're under attack. They're not allowed to do any kind of strategy. No meeting whatsoever. Because, apparently, it's treason now. This is from Keith Olbermann. He posted saying at 5 in the morning this morning, because he wasn't getting a lot of sleep. I wonder why Keith's not getting a lot of sleep nowadays. He said, Biden must warn Trump and his conspirators. They will be prosecuted. What? That sounds as if there's not going to be an investigation. You're just going to make an arrest, and you're just going to prosecute somebody. Like a railroad. Throw them in a kangaroo court and lock them up forever. That kind of a dictatorial sentencing. Trump's Oval Office meeting Friday night was a conspiracy to overthrow our government by military coup, he says. President-elect Joe Biden must warn that such treasonous plotting will not be tolerated. We had that video, what's the definition of projection? We talked about how the left will accuse you of something very specific that they themselves have done and are doing. And so the reason that they do this is not just that they're, mental midgets that give a tell. It's because if they say you're plotting to overthrow a real election when that isn't the case, then when it is corrected in the media, and the media has to then report the truth, they can spin it as, see, we knew this was coming. We knew they were going to overthrow the election with a military coup. If the president were able to get the right people in place and actually call a martial law and actually enact martial law, whether it's in swing states like I had suggested or across the country, if he actually did it, then people like this would say, aha, see, I'm right. It's a military coup, right? That's what they would claim. If it comes through the courts, which we already can't, we can't lean on that. We can't depend on a court because we already saw the Supreme Court. We only have 2 actual badasses on that court now. That's what we saw with the 7-2. That's what we saw. We have 2. So it has to be another way, and it will happen. But understand, Keith Olbermann and the rest of these people are showing you something interesting. They're accusing Trump of conspiring to overthrow government. They've accused Trump of colluding with Russia, something that they did with Russia and with China and with Iran and others, which, by the way, is conspiring to overthrow the country, overthrow the government, by the way. Not by military coup, but by foreign interference, foreign influence, foreign takeover by infiltration. That's what we've been talking about. So anyways, enough of me. Listen to Keith Olbermann have a total conniption. He is a total spaz for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And this is worse than Alex Jones has ever been on anything. So I really hope that YouTube leaves this up, because this video that I'm showing you from Keith Olbermann, this video does contain incredible disinformation. So I'm hopeful that YouTube will allow me to keep this up, because this is a Twitter video from Keith Olbermann. He is making false claims, and I'm just reporting on it.
This is Olbermann versus Trump, and I'm not Trump. The breaking details of the Friday night meeting in the Oval Office, in which conspirators led by Donald Trump discussed their prospects of overthrowing the government of the United States in a military coup, has left this nation with no other choice. Sadly, it will all fall to President-elect Biden. He must publicly state that on January 20th, his Department of Justice will act to investigate and to arrest anyone planning such a violent overthrow of the government. The president-elect may need to identify by name Sidney Powell, the delusional, lying attorney behind a series of lawsuits intended to end democracy here, whom Trump proposes to make special counsel to investigate the election. The president-elect may also need to identify by name General Michael Flynn, who also attended this seditious meeting and who has publicly called for the imposition of martial law to overturn the election. And the president-elect may need to identify by name the man who, because he merely wants Trump to issue an executive order seizing all the voting machines, was the moderate in the room, Rudy Giuliani. and the president-elect may need to identify by name Donald John Trump. Hours after the conspirators met, Trump also again proved he is not loyal to the United States, but rather to Russia. He undermined his own puppet Secretary of State's announcement that the mass computer hacking was its work. The danger of what is now Trump's final month of occupation cannot be overstated. This creature, facing state-level indictments he cannot pardon his way out of, sees the laws of this country and its heritage of civilian control of the military merely as objects blocking his way to save himself no matter what the cost. The immediate remedy is as old as the Trump occupation itself. The 25th Amendment is designed to remove a president who has lost all control of his mind or all fealty to the Constitution, or as in this case, both. Sadly, it will not be used. Remedying this coup will fall to President Biden. For while a Trump self-pardon might very well be deemed constitutional, a self-pardon for treason would not be. And what Trump did in the White House, in the Oval Office Friday night, was simply treason.
How do you like your scolding from the guy that lost his mind, lost his job, went into his garage, I believe, with like a blue and a pink cardboard behind him, and was blathering on about, like, this is day number whatever, while we're at war with Trump, and all these dumb things. Then, I thought it was a couple months ago, he came back and was like, I was a problem, and I was part of the problem, and I'm going to be done with all that. Now I'm just going to talk about normal, good, positive news. Really? This is Olbermann versus Trump, a new O versus T video. Good Lord. Let's see. It has 772,000 views, and it has 600 likes. Again, fewer than 600 likes, 750,000 views. Even fewer people are actually talking about it, but I wanted to point it out because of that ratio there, because of the fact that he posted this at 5 in the morning. Does that tell you anything? He did a nice job. It was all in one take. He was saying a lot of different names and call-outs, and he was reading off of a little cue card, so you can imagine that it probably took him a little while to really nail every single one of those without a flub. Doesn't want to stumble over himself, doesn't want to pause, doesn't want to take an awkward gap. So I can appreciate that he did that in a solid 2 minutes and 15 seconds so that he can nail it, put it on Twitter. But look at the guy. He's fried. It's 5 a.m. Do you know where your kids are? If you're Mrs. and Mr. Olbermann, you don't, because this guy looks like he's about to take a leap after he posts this video. So it's nuts. It's nuts. That's what it is. Clown world. And if you go back and you listen to this again, because I've listened to it a few times now, if you just took the exact, take one sentence at a time, and then just do the exact opposite for every active word in the sentence. So when he says things like, it will fall to President-elect Joe Biden to undo this, coup attempt that was, just reverse that, right? It has fallen to President Trump to stop this foreign interference coup, essentially is what it is. It's not a military coup from within. In fact, just take the tweet. Biden must warn Trump, just for the fact that, I don't want to keep going here, understand that it's not a military coup when the president uses every possible resource at his disposal to protect and defend the people of the United States and the Constitution. And so long as he's operating within the law, everything that he is doing is good, including when he sees that the media-elect Biden has all of these ties to foreign powers, all these ties to Chinese and Russian oligarchs, all of the ties to the money. People on the left and the right say, follow the money. Just follow the money. Well, follow the money on Joe Biden. Biden Inc. It's been reported on for nearly 2 years now, publicly in major mainstream media sources. So you can claim that they're not real, it's all fake news, but it's not. Joe Biden's touched in tons of ways. He's touched people, he's mentally touched, and he has a foreign influence on him that cannot be undone. He's owned. We have to ask, Where's Hunter? Not because we are wondering where Hunter's been hiding, but because we're wondering where Hunter's being held. Where are Hunter's friends being held? Hunter's emails say that his friend is being held on death row in China. When President Trump tweets, "Where's Hunter?" what do you think he's trying to tell you? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like this video, share this video with somebody who you think you may want to save from becoming like Keith Olbermann here, and then subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notification bell is turned on, and so you can stay tuned to all of this crazy news. Do whatever else you can do to keep America afloat.